March 24, 2015, dawned like any other day for 150 passengers and crew aboard Germanwings Flight 9525. The flight, en route from Barcelona to Dusseldorf, started off smoothly, the Airbus A320 gliding across the European skies. But as the aircraft reached cruising altitude, an unimaginable series of events unfolded, transforming a routine journey into a nightmare that ended in tragedy. As the aircraft leveled off at 38,000 feet, the captain left the cockpit for a quick restroom break. What he didn't realize was that his trusted co-pilot, Andreas Lubitz, was about to make a choice that would change everything. When the captain returned, a nightmare began to unfold. He knocked lightly, expecting Lubitz to let him back in, but there was only silence. His knocks grew louder, each one echoing through the cockpit door and into the cabin, where passengers began to notice the unusual sounds and feel a subtle shift in the plane's direction. Frustration turned to desperation as the captain tried everything, knocking, yelling, even attempting to break down the reinforced door. Yet Lubitz remained unmoved, his intentions concealed in a chilling silence. Inside the cockpit, Lubitz sat alone, ignoring every sound and plea from the other side. He had made his decision. Slowly and steadily, he began to guide the plane into a controlled descent toward the French Alps. The descent was quiet but deliberate, a steady, unbreakable commitment to his deadly plan. Passengers, noticing the tilt, must have started to realize something was wrong. There were no alarms, no warnings, just a steady drop that, with each passing second, brought them closer to an unimaginable fate. The altitude alarms began to sound, filling the cockpit and cabin with an eerie reminder of the approaching terrain. Passengers exchanged anxious glances, unsure of the cause but sensing a crisis in the air. Lubitz remained silent, his hands locked onto the controls, the outside world fading from his focus. The captain's desperate pounding echoed through the cockpit, growing more desperate as the aircraft's descent continued. In those final moments, the difference between life and death was nothing more than a locked door and a tragic silence. In the days that followed, investigators searched for answers, only to uncover a haunting backstory. Lubitz had a documented history of severe depression and mental health challenges. Just days before the flight, he had searched online for information about cockpit door locking mechanisms and suicide, suggesting a calculated and deliberate plan. Medical records revealed that he had been advised not to fly, though privacy laws prevented his employer from being informed. The crash stunned the world, and the aviation industry came under intense scrutiny. How could such a tragedy have happened, and what could have been done to prevent it? Airlines and aviation authorities moved swiftly, introducing new policies requiring 2 crew members in the cockpit at all times. The tragedy sparked global discussions about pilot mental health, as well as the need for transparency and support systems to prevent future incidents.